So this is the second half of the December the 3rd session for the ELT125, section 1. Let's see if there's any messages. Okay, very well done. So what we're going to be doing now is practice. I'm going to copy and paste an invitation for a Zoom session. I'm going to copy and paste it here in the chat box. So the idea is that we could migrate, that we could go to Zoom and see if we can have some speaking practice there, right? So I will be waiting for you in Zoom so we can have the speaking practice, all right?
All right, Professor. Professor.
Yes,
You have
I'm
to.
listening.
Oh, okay. You have to accept my. You have to accept me in Zoom, please. Thank you. Professor. Professor. Welcome back to the meeting in Teams.
Welcome back to Teams. As you can see, sometimes things work out and sometimes things don't work out. In general, I would say that depending on the class may have a structure, the class may be well prepared or badly prepared. But in general, there's also it's also important class participation, right? So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to share the dialogue again, and okay, here it is. So I want each one of you to read one sentence, one statement. I think Areli is present here, Diego, Gaspar, Sebastian. So we've got 4 participants. Okay, we got only 4 participants. And take turns. For example, Areli can start, then Diego, then Gaspar, and then Sebastian. But each time you read, we stop to analyze what's going on in that sentence, all right? Does that make sense?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with Aleli. All right, if Adeli cannot do it, let's ask Diego. Diego, could you read aloud the first section, please?
I'm
Okay.
here, teacher.
So how come, Adeli, you're not... Okay. Anyway, Adeli, would
I
you like...
can be Kim or not?
Yes, the idea is that you start with... so Adeli,
Yes.
then... Yeah, and then who was the next one? I think it was Diego,
Yes.
right? Okay, Diego, then Gaspar, and then Sebastián, and then Areli, then Diego, then Gaspar, then Sebastián, and finally Areli and Diego. So Areli is going to read first, but then we're going to see what's going on here. All right, we're going to stop to for the analysis. Whenever you want.
Sure. I'm a star. Hey Brad, how are you? Did you have a nice weekend?
It was okay.
What did you do?
Well, I had a lot of work to do, and I didn't want to fall behind with my work. So I worked all day Saturday. Then on Sunday, we're going to go to the beach, but we decided not to.
Oh, you should have gone. I went to the beach and it was beautiful. Why didn't you go? You go? Sorry.
I didn't want to drive that far. I guess I could have taken a bus, but I ended up deciding to just stay home and rest. Maybe I'll go next weekend if I don't have work. If I don't have to work.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the end of the fiscal year, so we've been working really hard.
Can you get everything done during the week?
Yeah, and my boss might be able to help me as well. I'll ask him if he can help me.
Take a look at the first one. Areli, could you read it aloud again from hey up to weekend, and then we analyze reductions there? Areli, could you do it again, please?
Um, hey Brad, how are you? It's okay or no?
Go on.
How are you? Did you have a nice weekend?
Excellent. So if we are talking about reductions, which reductions do you think can be present in the section read by Areli?
Is who are you in the first, and
Yes, exactly.
is who are you, and did you have a nice weekend? It's okay or no, teacher?
Yes, the first one, how are you? You turns into yeah. So how are you?
Yeah.
How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, exactly. How are you? Right. I mean, it's not that you have to say like that. It's like some speakers may use a reduction instead of you may use yeah. And the other one, did you have a nice weekend? Did you may turn into did you? Did you? Did you? Right? Did you have a
Did you?
nice weekend? Exactly.
Did you have a nice weekend?
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. Diego, could you read out the second one, please?
Okay. It was okay.
It was okay. So any reduction there?
I don't think so.
Well, the verb was can be produced was in British dialect, or was in more general American dialect. Was, and you can reduce was or was, the long o, sorry, the short o, right, o, or the long a, and you can reduce it to schwa. So you can say it was, 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 was. All right. So you can use a schwa in was, and you can say it was okay. It was okay, because the focus of that utterance, it would be okay, right? The focus word of that sentence. So you can reduce was, and you can use a schwa there. It was okay. It was okay. Okay.
Okay.
It was okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty. No problem. Please let me know if the explanation is not clear, so we can go over another example. Gaspar, next one, please.
Okay. What did you do?
Excellent. Now try to change the last do for a duh. Duh.
What did you do?
Go on, please.
What did you do? What did you do?
Does it make sense? Not really, right? Not really.
No,
Because that
not
you
really.
know, no, because that
Oh,
that's a main verb. That's a main verb. Do it's like we can say, what did you eat? What did you watch? What did you I don't know. So that the to there is not an auxiliary. It's a verb. It's a main verb. The auxiliary in this question is did.
yes.
So
It's did.
yes. So did. So did you is what we can work with. So did you. So you can turn into yeah. And did you there can be some yod coalescence, and we can say did you. So did you can become did you. Can you try do with what did you do?
What did you do?
You keep do at the last one, but did you do?
What did you do?
Excellent, great.
Okay,
What did you do?
perfect.
Great, you got it. Sebastian, can you go on with the next one, please?
All of it?
You can make pauses.
Well, I had a lot of work to do, and I didn't want to fall behind with my work. So I work all day Saturday. Then, on Sunday, we're going to go to the beach, but we decided not to.
Excellent. So, what if we analyze from well up to work? What's with any reduction that you can see there?
Yes. I had could be reduced to I'd a lot of work to do.
Yes, you can say I'd instead of I had. Now, is there anything that you can do with a lot of? Can you reduce a lot of?
A lot of work. Yes, yeah, I can just say a lot of work to do, not of a reduction.
Exactly. Exactly. A lot of, a lot of, a lot of. Exactly. What about in the same sentence, right? But after and I didn't. Can you do anything with want to? Cuidado con su manito. Want to.
Um, one, two. I'm not really sure. I think.
And I didn't want to. And I didn't want to fall behind. And I didn't want to. Want to. Do you remember the going to, the want to expressions? How they were reduced?
Uh, wanna fall behind. I didn't wanna fall behind. That's right.
Perfect. Yes, excellent. Some speakers would not say I didn't want to fall behind, but would say I didn't want to fall behind. Exactly. Exactly. So it's good for us to identify this, to understand this, and we decide whether to use it or not. We can say I didn't wanna, right? Or we can just identify what other speakers may be saying. So now we're familiar with this. In the next sentence, so I worked all day Saturday. Any reductions? We were going to go to the beach.
So I work all day. Maybe I can just say I work, like illusion, making an illusion in the AD. I work all day Saturday. I work all day Saturday, or something like that.
Yes, yes, that is possible. You can say I work all day Saturday, but then we need to make a difference between the simple present work and the past tense worked. So probably we can elide k, and then we can just keep t, worked,
Work.
so worked all day. Yes, because if we say worked all, we keep the t, and we link it with all worked all, then we are using the past tense. If we say work on, work all day, the listener would be having a hard time identifying if I'm saying this in present tense or past tense. If I say I work all day Saturday, I could be saying something that I usually do on Saturday. So worked all Saturday. So t should not be elided in the past tense.
Okay, that makes sense.
What about the next one? Say what?
Then on Sunday we were gonna go to the beach.
Excellent. We were gonna go to the beach. Excellent. But we decided not to. I don't think there's a reduction there, right? Is there a reduction in the following? Areli, could you read aloud the next one?
In the word should have is the reduction is shut up. Shut up.
Yes. Yes. Should have. You should have gone. Should have gone. Perfect. Should have gone. What about the next in the same line? I went to the beach and it was beautiful. Why didn't you go? Any reduction person there?
In in was maybe I don't remember the reduction in the word was um
Yes. I went to the beach. I went to the beach, and it was beautiful. Well, you can change the full vowel sound for a schwa. So instead of was or was,
was
it could be yes, it could be a schwa.
was
Was right. It was beautiful. Excellent. So reduction for the full vowel sound in was or was to schwa, was shorter,
Was.
lax, very lax, exactly. What about the next sentence, the next utterance? Why didn't you go? Any reduction possible there?
Yes, it's why didn't you go? Didn't you go?
Exactly. Didn't you? Didn't ya? Didn't ya? Didn't ya? That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's correct. Excellent. Then we've got Brad.
Well, I didn't want to drive that far. I guess I could have taken a bus, but I ended up deciding to just stay home and rest. Maybe I'll go next weekend if I don't have to work. I think in the third sentence, I didn't want to drive. Could be a reduction. I didn't want to drive.
Exactly. Want to could be want to with a schwa or wanna. Right? Exactly. What about the next section? The one starting with I guess.
I guess I
Any
could.
reduction? Any possible?
I think it could be in could taking a bus, like a reduction of half, and like an elision in end up deciding to just stay home.
Yes, exactly. That's correct. I totally agree with you. So I could have, right? Could have, and taken that ends up in a schwa and a consonant n. It could be taken, go from k to n, and an elision of the vowel sound. Yes, but I ended up deciding to just stay home and rest. Probably no reduction there, unless unless you consider maybe using, instead of using the strong form for to into just stay, using a weak form to, which is a reduction in the end. Maybe I'll go next weekend if I don't have to work. Any possible reduction that you can identify in the last section?
I think with the don't have to. I'll go next weekend if I don't have to work. Have to work.
Exactly. That's right. Have to. What about the next sentence? I think Gaspar was in charge of that one. Gaspar, could you read it aloud again, please?
Which
you.
sentence, teacher?
The one starts with what?
What do you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Right. Exactly. Can we reduce any full vowel there?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Exactly. We can always reduce you for a ya. You, right?
With a
Long
schwa.
u for a schwa. Exactly. So what do you mean? That's one change. What do you mean? We can also combine do and you, and there should be, or there could be, a coalescence. So instead of pronouncing do, we can pronounce just the, and we link it with yeah. So what do you mean? What do you mean? That's another way, right? A possible way to reduce this. So we can have one type of reduction, U for yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? Or there could be also your coalescence, right? Sebastian, the next one, please.
Well, it's the end of the fiscal year, so we've been working really hard.
All right,
Well,
so
there is,
any possible reduction there?
I mean, there is already a reduction there in its instead of it is, and well, it's the end, the end of the end of the fiscal year. There's another reduction there.
Exactly. Exactly.
The end
Very
of
well done.
the
The end
fiscal
of.
year.
The end of. That's right. Of. We have a reduced form. We have of. We can have a schwa, right? A schwa there. And Sebastian pointed out its is already a contraction, so that's also a reduced form. It's, it is, it's. We also have a reduction when we have a contraction. In the next part, so we've been working really hard. Anything that you are able to see there?
There is another reduction. Instead of we have, we've been working really hard. We've been working.
Great. Another contraction there, right? We have with. Very well done. So can we move on to the next one, Adeli? Could you read aloud the next one, please?
Can you get everything done during the week? The reduction is can you? Would can you? Can you?
Yes.
Can you
Yes, perfect.
get
You can.
everything during the week?
You got it. You got it. Can you? You changes to yeah. Some speakers may use this weak form, right? This reduction here. And also, as you know, whenever we have a consonant sound like in the last one in can, we have a t in the middle, and then we have another, in this case, semi-vowel, yeah, the initial sound in you. We can have an elision. Can't you? Can't you? Can you? Can you? Kanye, right? Or Kanye, exactly. Kanye. Or we can have coalescence. Can't you? When we get t and y. So you see, there's not a.
Can you? It's more easy, I think.
All right, good. That's something that I want you to keep in mind. Whatever it's easier, as Adeli is mentioning, right? Whatever is easier for you, you take it like that. You take it. You take the easiest version for you. The point is understanding that some speakers may say can't you, can you, right? And also can't you, right? So we should be able, since we are studying the language, we should be able to describe what's going on there, right? We should be able to say, okay, the speaker, instead of saying you, said yeah, which is a reduction of the original form you, changing a full vowel sound u for a weak vowel sound, which is a schwa. We can talk about, right? We can talk about elision if we cannot hear the t, right? And if we hear ch, as in canche, we should be able to say, okay, there's a reduction in the long vowel sound u for a vowel sound, but there's also your coalescence, right? The combination of t and y changing into ch, the affricate sound. Alrighty. So let's finish this dialogue. The last one, the last Brad, please.
Okay, yeah, and my boss might be able to help me as well. I'll ask him if he can help me. I think the first reduction could be the two. Might be able to help me instead of to, just cha.
Yes.
And in the second part, well, we have a contraction. I will, I'll, and the word if, I think, because it's more like if instead of if. Like ask him, ask
All
him
right.
if he can help me.
Yes. So you were talking about the word if or the word him. I'm sorry, I didn't get that part.
And the word if.
Okay. So the word if, we can see if I'll ask him if 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 he can help me, if if he can help me. Well, yeah, there might be, right. There might be a phonological process there. Probably if he. I'll ask him if he can, if he can help me. If he can help, if he is if he. It's complex to go from if to he, right? He. So there must be something going on there. If he, maybe an illusion of the initial sound in he. Um, Anything going on in between the words ask and the word him? What do you think?
Oh yes, it's more like ask him.
Right. I mean, you can still say ask him, right? I'll ask him if you're emphasizing that. I'll ask him, not her, not you. I'll ask him if he can help me. Yes. But in general, you're right. I'll ask him, ask him, ask him. So using a weak form for him. And in order to use a weak form for him, we need to elide the initial sound of him. So that's important to remember. Many times, to have a reduction of a full vowel sound and to use a schwa instead, there's also, in general, there's often another phonological process called elision. That's also important to remember, right? Him, m, like I'll ask her, I'll ask her, them, I'll ask him, right? It's important to remember that it's not only reducing the vowel sound from a full one to a schwa, but also other phonological processes like elision. Comments or questions? Anything that you say, well, this is not clear um, from this dialogue? What do you think? So in the end, the idea is that you are able to read a text aloud, right? That you're able to use some features of connected speech in fluent speech, but also that you're able to listen to someone using features of connected speech, and you're able to understand the spoken text. The idea is that you're able to listen to any other speaker, whether a native speaker or a non-native speaker, and that you're able to understand them even though the speaker may elide sounds, right? The speaker may combine or link sounds. So sometimes 4 or 5 words may sound like one long word. Like that example, I get up at 8. I get up at 8. I get up at 8. So when speakers are using fluent language, they may sound like they are using really long words, and actually there's only linking of consonant to vowel or from vowel to consonant, right? So the idea is that you're able to listen to or read a text, and you're able to identify these features of connected speech. You may use this one to practice. The idea is that we're going to combine all the features of connected speech. My suggestion is try to study, try to practice, and always pay attention to the fact that many times it's not just one phonological process going on, but there may be 2 or 3. Like in this one, right? We were discussing reduction of a full vowel sound into a schwa, right? But also we pay attention to elision and sometimes to regressive assimilation, right? Or even to a mutual assimilation, or what's also called iot coalescence. So 1, 2, or even 3 phonological processes taking place at the same time. If there are no questions, we're going to be finishing today's session. I thank you all for staying. Luckily, I could have you here because it would have been quite um, interesting to teach only one student or none of you and recording this lesson solo, right? So thank you for your participation. If you have questions later, hesitate to post them in the teams, right? And my suggestion is take this dialogue for you to analyze any possible feature of connected speech, because this is something that we're going to be doing in the following classes. We're going to be recycling, and we're going to give you some passages, some paragraphs for you to read them aloud and analyze any feature of connected speech present. Okay. Remember that you're studying language. I mean, you're practicing, you're learning English. You're also preparing yourself to learn how to teach English, right? In this teacher training program. So as we are studying language, we need to know what's going on with the language, right? Just like when someone goes and takes cooking lessons, it's not about just knowing how to prepare them, but what the ingredients are and how they are combined. Same thing with the language. We need to know what kind of language we're using, the type of words we're using, how they combine, and how can the sounds affect each other. All right, because you're becoming professionals about the English language. You need to know. If not everything, at least a lot more than regular people, right? The average people about English. You need to more than the rest. So I'll see you around, hopefully next session. And let's see if we
Tuesday.
may have, yes, sir, Tuesday. Let's see if we may have more attendance, because today the attendance, I mean, I'm not complaining. I always want to look at the glass half full, right, from the optimistic or the bright side. But hopefully we might get more participants later, because the last one of the last evaluations will consist on analyzing a passage. So if you have not studied, if you have not practiced, if you have not attended the classes, you might be having a hard time trying to explain if, or analyze the passages, right? The texts or the recordings, not having some acquired technical language to explain them. Okay, so I'll see you all, as Gaspar mentioned, on Tuesday, and please feel free to email me or ask in the
Teacher,
chat box any questions. Yes, ma'am.
this day is